Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. I thought I'd do a video about me and my family for some of those who don't know my background and what I've done in the past and who I am. I thought I'd dedicate this video about my family and about me, so you guys get to know more about me, because you guys are seeing lots of things that I'm actually doing. And I thought this video, I'm going to dig deep and I'm going to show you what today is actually about, and it really is about digging deep. So Mum is just right behind me. Hi Mum!
Hi!
That's my mum. She's the reason why I'm alive, and I'm very grateful that I'm living life now, and she's always been supportive. My mum's my biggest fan. Chanel, do you want to say hello?
Yeah. Hello.
Going to be heading down to our hometown where I was actually born, and I'm going to be seeing my aunties, my uncles, my cousins, and new babies as well, which I only have seen photos.
3 babies.
3 babies, yeah. So we're actually really super excited about going to see our family. The place where I was born, and my mum grew up most of her life as well. So I migrated to Australia with my mum, my dad, and my brother and I. So we're refugees, we're boat people if you want to call it like that, but we arrived in Australia in 1982, and we decided Australia would be the place where we would live the new life and start a whole new chapter. I'm going to hunt down to see if there's any old images of my great-grandfather, my great-grandmother, and to see if there's any photos lying around about, you know, my mum when she was a lot more younger. But Chanel's going to have a wonderful time because there's going to be, you know, animals out on the field. We're going to go out to the rice paddocks as well. So she's going to see where I came from, where I was born, so she can relate and understand, you know, where I came from and where my mum came from, and our ancestors too. So this laneway that we're actually walking down was when I remember, and I recall, and you know what? Not a lot has changed in terms of the footpath, the buildings. This building, when I was 8, was actually still here. And this building, where is it? This actual building here has always, that it actually had changed, but over a period of time, but it looks quite old. There hasn't really done much renovation since then. And on this side, all green, there's nothing there at the moment. I used to play badminton here, tennis, oh god, so much stuff. Oh, we used to go hunting for fruit in people's gardens, and I used to always hear, oh, there's a dog barking. It's quite loud. Yeah, they said people work at home in their back of the house. Look how old these iron gates are. Look at it. So my auntie, the one when I had to go visit her burial place. So this house was actually renovated, fixed up with the gates in the 1990s. So we actually lived in a very, very old house, and my great-grandfather came here, lived here, set it all up for the whole family. So we're looking at 7 brothers and sisters, uncles and aunties, that is, of mine, and they would all live in the one house. Ridiculously small. It was like 2 or 3 bedrooms. Big hug! Big hug! Yeah. Come over here! Come here! Big hug! Big hug! Big hug! Big hug! Look at her! Look at her! Look at my family! Ah, so cute! Hello!
Chụp thấy không chị?
It's my cousin here.
Ben, Ben qua đây.
Look at this. Is our new, my new baby second cousin. Look at him. He's like a newborn. Oh my god, I'm so lucky. Look at him. And we'll have to go inside and see my other second cousins too. This is my cousin Nhi, and she's got 3 boys. Oh my God, look at them! Twins. Mấy tuổi rồi Nhi? Nhi mấy tuổi rồi? That's Auntie there. I've actually just arrived at the cemetery where my auntie is buried, and I'm just going to not film actually, and this is going to be my time, just family time. So we've just prayed and put joysticks in, and not only I saw my auntie, I was able to see my great grandfather who died in his 90s, and my great grandmother and my grandfather's burial place. This church was built probably about 8-10 years later, but they had an old building, so they renovated. I went to church here every time I was in Vietnam. So this is the local church. So I'm having lunch catered for my family. My uncles and aunties are all here. And we're getting actually food.
Bữa nay hơi đấy. Chị chỉ sợ không bảo đảm thôi chứ còn ngon hơn. Có điều bảo đảm hay không là phải hỏi lại.
When I was 8 years old, we actually had pillars, and it was much more an old house. And not only was it old, we had haystacks out in the front. And my great grandfather would have this dog that would follow him everywhere. And after he had passed away, that dog actually would actually go to the graveyard where he is, where he rests, and just stay there for a few hours, and he would actually just come home. We'd go, where's the dog? Where would it go missing? Where would it disappear to? And then we realised it actually goes out to the graveyard to find him and sit next to him. So that was his pet dog. Dogs are loyal. Animals are loyal. I recall when I was here that because my mum was actually a primary teacher, and there were kids that would come back and go, your mum taught me. So my mum was the most favourite primary school teacher here, because she used to never grab the stick and hit people, which is really nice. And they would go, your mum was the loveliest person, and they look up to her, she's inspirational. So this journey is basically not just a holiday, it's for me to celebrate a new chapter and to celebrate about life. It was actually also to help mum. She has an incomplete, which she has a frustration and pain. So my divorce is actually like a funeral. So my mum's love sign is act of service. So she's not words of affirmation, nor she's kinesthetic. And it is very hard for any Asian parents actually to share their voice, to allow themselves to speak up or explain or share their emotions. So parents, they have been brought up, I don't think the word is cold, but they just haven't learnt how to express the emotion. So because of my mum, she separated from my father when I was 2. Where's my father? I don't know where he is. Do I want to find him? I actually do, but I only want to find him when I believe my mum is ready to let go of what my father did. And for my mum to leave my father when I was at the age of 2, she brought up 2 kids in our country where English is not her first language. She made sure we had food on our table, a roof over our head, and I had education through my life. And when I saw how my mum was struggling, working long hours, she was a machinist, she found a job, we started to live comfortably, but it was hard work for my mum. It was very hard work for her to do everything all on her own. So my mum has a big incomplete, and that big incomplete, it's actually my father. My separation, as I said, it's like a funeral. And the things that she's done in my relationship for us, she's done through the service that she provided, and she's going through pain and struggles which I want her to actually overcome and release, and I need her to do it on this journey because eventually I do want to find my father. So hopefully she's starting to feel better and release and let go, because at the Empower TV my mum was in tears after seeing me, well, during my speaking, during my talk, my presentation. And for me to see my mum in tears, I knew I connected through my message. So blessed. Here you actually see my great grandfather, who is on the far left, my great grandmother next to him in that photo, and my grandfather on the right hand side. My grandmother is still alive, so this is on my mum's side, and just down below is my auntie. My auntie just died about 2 years ago, so she had throat cancer, which I mentioned. So we've just visited her graveyard, which you saw there, and it's just to share blessings and share our prayers, and also just for me to say hello to my great-grandfather, to say hello to my great-grandmother, my grandfather and my auntie. So just wanted to say hello, and for them to see my daughter, it's absolutely beautiful that they were able to see, you know, in spirit, and I know that they're around. And I bless them. I'm absolutely grateful because I feel my great-grandmother is actually following me. I believe she's listening to me, and I believe she's helping me along this journey. And for me to come back, it feels good. I feel alive, and this is my roots. This is where I came from, and I would never forget who I am. And to see that my mum and dad had left Vietnam to take on this massive journey to Australia, risking their life, and they've done so much. They've done so much. Yeah, if they hadn't left and risked their life, I would still be living in Vietnam, and who knew where my life would have been? Who knew where, you know, life is just